And welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach presented by Apollo Media. Today we have a reoccurring guest, our friend Pablo Escobarner, to help preview the SEC. And we will be ending the episode with some tailgate talk. So Pablo, welcome back. Thank you for filling in again on a little bit of a short notice. Ready to talk some SEC football?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm pumped. So, we're like, what, exactly a month away at this point?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it's exactly a month from week 0. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I would kill for Ohio versus Toledo right now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Just give me something. And I'm watching it.
Exactly.
Every snap.
Yeah. Baseball's taking me too far, or so far.
Yeah, and what we were saying, like last week, the World Cup tided us over a little bit.
Right.
But we need gridiron football.
Proper football.
We need proper American football, pads, helmets, go routes, some idiot running a fade in the red zone like that we don't need. We need all these things back. So glad we're about to get started with this.
Yeah.
And Pablo, like Jake said, thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to talk a little bit of SEC ball with you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So again, I think we could probably put them together, but who are the contenders coming into the season? Like, I believe it's the usual suspects, right?
Sorry, it cut out for a second. I heard you say, who are the contenders?
Who are the contenders for the SEC?
It went dark for like 5 seconds.
That's right.
I mean, it has to be Georgia and Texas, tier 1A. And then you could tell me like 6 teams, below that realistically that, could compete. But yeah, I think you have to start with those 2.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Texas this year. I think a lot of people are expecting Arch Manning to take a big step forward again. Showed some flashes there at the end of the season. Obviously, with Georgia, you know what you're getting. Just a powerful defense. Gunnar Stockton back at quarterback for the Bulldogs. Definitely 2 teams that we know are going to be elite. You wonder what Alabama is going to look like. You wonder what OU is going to look like. Does Mateer being healthy all season, does that make a difference? Tennessee is in the conversation, but maybe not as much as the past 2 years. A&M's coming off of a playoff run last year. Lane Kiffin, obviously the shiny new guy at LSU, and the simmering beef, I guess we should say, with Ole Miss. Going to be interesting to watch how all those storylines play out, but I think I agree with you, Pablo. Texas and Georgia are the clear-cut 2 contenders at the top of the conference right now.
Yeah. So is Alabama are they out of contender? And is this the first time we're talking about Alabama and not talking about them as like a clear contender for the conference?
I mean, what was it preseason? They were picked number 6, I believe. Like that. I think that right there is erotic to just read on paper, like when you're just sitting in the middle of the day and you're like, Bama gets picked 6th preseason. Like that's sexy stuff.
And for those of you joining us that don't know, Pablo is an Auburn fan, is a big supporter.
Yeah, no bias will come from these lips for sure.
I just wanted to make sure the folks were aware.
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about the contenders. Who do you have as a dark horse in the SEC this year?
Yeah, it's hard because like I don't know what do you quantify or qualify, I guess, as dark horse. Like Oklahoma realistically should be in the mix, but like I don't know if like how much of a dark horse is that if coming off of a playoff appearance, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like an actual unexpected dark horse. I mean, I think your best bet there would be Florida or Auburn realistically. But I don't see either of those happening because both their schedules are hard as hell and it's insane just looking at it top to bottom. But from a team perspective, you've got both of those coming in, new coaches and all the hype that surrounds it, just for it to look different and fresh. I think those are the two that realistically could overshoot expectations if things broke the right way.
Yeah, and that's like an interesting point because you have Texas and you have your Texas and Georgia, your top tier elite teams. And then you said it, Pablo, there's like 6 other teams that are playoff contenders that could also fight for that SEC. So like, again, I was thinking Oklahoma, technically dark horse, just because they're not at the top level.
Right.
But I also understand what you're saying is like what you're saying, like, how much of a dark horse is it when they just made it the playoff?
Right.
But Florida and Auburn though would be the true kind of dark horses,
right,
just because they have the ability, they have the talent, to probably do it.
I think if I had to really dig deep for a dark horse here, I might look at the South Carolina Gamecocks. You get Lenore Sellers back, and obviously last year was.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a fair option.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was extreme. Like, I think a lot of people had them pegged as a contender last year, right? And obviously disappointing into the season. You give up one of the biggest halftime leads in program history, which I was in attendance for that game. That was fun to watch. You just have to bring that out there. But I mean, Lenore Sellers, you expect him to continue to improve. And if he takes another step forward, like, I still think South Carolina can be a very dangerous team.
And you have, I mean, and we all know watching this sport. I mean, if you have a couple game breakers on either side of the ball, I mean, who knows what could happen any given day. And I mean, you have Sellers at quarterback, which is obviously the most important position. You have Harbor, who's an absolute freak at wide receiver. It's like that. Any game that could bust open. And then when you have an elite pass rusher, anything's on the table. So Dylan Stewart obviously is going to be having a lot to say when it comes to that department.
Yeah, and those 3 positions, right? Like, you get the quarterback,
the most valuable ones in today's game. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my 3, because like the other one I would consider in that like group of teams that's like below the top half of the league preseason would be like South Carolina right in that range with Florida and Auburn. Missouri also kind of in that range, of like top 25 good potentially, but I believe Missouri wins anything when they finally do it.
Yeah, and I personally still have beef with Missouri. It feels like they post that picture of Josie going for a touchdown in the background every year we play them, and I just not thrilled when I see that. So it's been great for my soul the past 2 years to see A&M dismantle Mizzou.
Mm-hmm. I like what you said, what you guys talked about South Carolina. Those are legit game breakers. Like those 3 dudes, Stewart, Harbor, Sellers, all game breakers that can like literally take over. So I wasn't even thinking about South Carolina for that. And yeah, that's a pretty good toss right there.
Can't forget about Cocky.
No, can't forget about the Cocks. So Pablo, next up, I feel like, every college football season, there are going to be teams that, that disappoint. Okay. For example, in the Big Ten, my Nittany Lions last year, which I don't want to talk about. Is there a team going into the SEC that you look at them and you think, hey, there's a lot of hype. However, this could go south?
Man, it's hard to imagine Georgia or Texas falling off. And obviously, if they're not like making the playoff, you're not meeting expectation. But if they're 9-3, it's not like a crazy fall off. Man, that's a hard question because of the team, just the quality of the teams up there. But again, these schedules are going to be hard with this 9-game conference schedule. Realistically, just from a historical perspective, Jay's like trembling because he thinks Texas A&M's never won anything. But no, it's not A&M. So Ole Miss, I could see like they have a lot of hype because of how they ended the year last year, but like I could see that being the team that get in a couple close games and things don't break their way, and it's like, wow, Ole Miss being 8-4 feels crazy once you're at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I don't know. So here's my thing. Is there any worry over there at LSU?
I don't think they win the conference, but I think they're definitely, I think the floor is so safe with Lane at LSU that I just it's hard for me to imagine it being just like an abysmal failure. I mean, just the talent. You got Levitt coming in. I mean, Lane in general. We all know that program when it's clicking halfway at all. Like it's just so damn good.
Right.
The one thing I worry about with LSU is the offensive line and the depth they have at that position. I think that could be an issue. But Lane, like you mentioned, man, the floor is so good with him, just because he's able to scheme around things
And
like
that's
that
the
happen.
thing. It's like if there's one coach I would trust to figure out how to maximize his team, even if the O line is not as good, like it's that guy.
Yeah. One team that. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
No, sorry, really quick here, because I was thinking about this all day. Here's my worry with LSU. Okay, they play Clemson to start the year, and Clemson, is not the Clemson. Doesn't look like the Clemson of old, but LSU has all these moving parts going on that, like, if they're not clicking early, and let's just say Clemson upsets them. Okay, you're 0-1. All right, you beat La Tech. Now you have that toxic game against Ole Miss.
Yeah, that could set your whole tone for the season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's just say they go 1-2. And by the way, you're 1-2. Now you have to play Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough potential start for sure.
Exactly. So my thing is, and again, I think at the end of the year, LSU can be clicking.
Yeah.
Like, I think LSU can look like how Indiana looked at the tail end of last year. Because remember, Indiana struggled a little bit in the first half, like in the first couple games of the year. So I don't know. I think LSU is going to click late, but man, they got a tough go in the beginning. That's kind of what I was thinking of. Hey, if things don't break good for them or break well early, they could be in for a long season.
Contextually, I mean, that's going to be important with a lot of these teams, to view that same way. That's what I mean. I haven't really looked top to bottom with like how most of these schedules and like, how they're falling month to month. But yeah, that's a good point.
Here's one for you.
Anyway, Jay.
So this is a team that has been better than they normally are, but are perennially one of the worst teams in the SEC.
Vandy, they're gonna suck.
I think they take a big step back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Without Diego Pavia, I mean, like, I think that the coaching staff there, Clark Lee, like they've got a good staff there. But I feel like this is kind of like a come back to earth moment for Vanderbilt, especially like I expect Kentucky and Mississippi State to be better than they were the past 2 years. You get both of those games, which should be winnable on the road, right? And Alabama's probably going to have this one circled because there's a little bit of hard feelings there.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough at Florida, right? New coaching staff there. I look at Vanderbilt's schedule, and I think the only SEC game that I would have them favored in is probably Arkansas.
Who might finish the bottom of the league themselves,
Yeah, exactly. I think that you're looking at just relative to expectations, Vanderbilt is probably somebody that's going to underperform just because the bar has been raised a little bit. But even that's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, and I don't think they return a whole lot either. From that team.
It is
from
crazy
last
that
year.
they got that quarterback coming in, but like still, I don't think you have enough around him to replace that production and experience, even if he is like the guy, day one, 5-star, number one.
Right.
It's like that's awesome, but yeah, you need a lot more at this level.
And Pavia and Stowers both gone. Like they had such a connection there. It's just tough to replace that kind of connection. Moving on. Let's say that relative to the expectations, we talk a little bit about Vegas here. What team do you think could shatter their over or under? So let's say they're going over, for example. I think Georgia's got an over of 10.5 wins. I don't know what the unders look like. I don't fully look at the Vegas stuff, but do you have somebody who you think is going to fall over or under their win total by a good amount?
Is Auburn still at 6.5?
Let me check. Ooh, why is Auburn not even on my thing. Hang on a second.
Last I saw, they were
Auburn.
6.5. I have
Yes,
such
they
a
are
hard
6.5.
time. I have such a hard time. Like, that's maybe the one I feel most confident in going over. And even with a tough schedule, like, you look at that, you can find 7 games. You know, it's like, that's for as shitty as a coach as Hugh Freeze was, and to be in every single game that we've been in, you know, these last couple years, like, every game was 1 score last year. Like, that's insane to say out loud, even with him, you know? So it's like, it's clear you just need a little bit of a spark, and it's hard to imagine a couple of those not going the other way with like some marginally better coaching, and obviously you would anticipate better quarterback play and blah blah blah. I mean, I know that I'm a little more intimately familiar with that, but it's so hard for me to see 6.5 hitting under with Auburn.
Yeah. And I like Auburn there too, just because you look at where the South Florida program was before Golish got there, and they hadn't won a game against an FBS team in 2 years. So to be able to turn around a program quicker, and Auburn's going to have good talent, even if it hasn't shown the past few years, I just feel like they're so primed to take a step forward that I'm kind of with you on this, Pablo. I think they have a good chance of getting over that 6.5 hump by a fair margin.
And we can obviously get into the actual schedule later, you know, when we talk about Auburn, but yeah, that's over under. Like, that's bias aside, that's the one I feel most confident about.
Yeah, I was trying to look at some of these, and the one that was speaking to me is one that I don't advise anyone to do, but I like the value, and I love Georgia this year. But like, Georgia over 10.5 is plus 160. Like, I don't think that's that bad.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think, I really think, okay, Georgia slips up once, but I really think they're going to be very, very good this year. They have a good amount coming back. And I love returning production, you know. But JD, were you
another one that's amazing to see, you know, just written down is Alabama's preseason over under being at 8.5. Like, tell me that don't make your blood just tingle right there.
Maybe not as much as you, Pablo, but it is wild for me to see.
But you know it's in there. You know it's in there.
Yeah.
It's the reign of terror went on far too long, and all of us share in that misery.
The reign of terror.
The collective praying on that downfall will be sweet when it finally happens one of these days.
I think it's coming close. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's very reasonable that they go 8-4. So, I mean, if you can hit under, I mean, they play Georgia at Tennessee, A&M at LSU. Hopefully Auburn can give them a game. Like, you play South Carolina, like play Florida State again. I mean, hopefully.
And they don't have, again, I harp on returning. They don't have a whole lot coming back.
No,
you know,
the
like they don't.
A lot.
No, it's so. Is the reign of terror over? I mean, hopefully for your sake, Pablo, it is.
If they go 8-4, I mean, you'll hear like rednecks trembling. Like, it will be amazing. All the way up there. I mean, it will be incredible.
Jay, did you have one, or is Auburn?
I think Auburn is probably my pick.
Yeah, I like that. So I think we may have alluded to this one already. Pablo, if you had to put your money on the worst team in the conference, who do you think it would be?
Oh man, I think it's crazy because like I do think Vandy takes a step back. I don't think Mississippi State will be very good. I mean, they should be better. I think it's Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to be the worst team. Yeah. And to segue into hot seat talk, like, I mean, it has to be Pittman. I mean, if you're finishing at the bottom with the financial support that you're getting from Tyson and Walmart, and they ain't going to stand for that.
Pablo, we do have Ryan Silverfield in there.
I mean, that's what I meant. Silverfield. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see them giving him the time. Like, you know,
I don't disagree with
ground
that.
If it's that bad, like, they got him for cheap. You know, it's one of those things. It's like you can wash clean of that really fast.
Yeah.
I think 2 years. I
Yeah.
think he has two. I don't think it matters how bad it is this year, but next year, if it's also bad, I think they're just going to wipe.
Yeah,
their
right.
hands
You
of
have
it.
absolutely no runway like going
No.
into next season if you finish last in the league. Like I just
No,
don't.
he
I don't buy it.
and that was a hire that again you said they got him for cheap, but that was kind of the head scratcher. Like all these coaching
Bro
moves
has
coming
negative
around.
aura. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing about that dude that's cool. Like I
Yeah.
just don't see it going well. Like if they're also losing, like everybody's like, get this dude out of town, man. Like come on.
What Jay? What do we say? You either you can't lose games and be an asshole.
Yep, that is
You can't
the
be
golden rule.
both.
And I
You
don't know
can't
that
be
Ryan
both.
Silverfeld's necessarily that bad on the line.
No.
Compared to some of the guys we've seen. Looking at you, Trent Dilfer, but you look at this Arkansas program, and you know you're not going to have the best talent. You don't have the best recruiting base.
No.
And Ryan Silverfield was a guy in the American Conference where Memphis probably did have the best talent in the conference. And he was never really able to put it all together to the extent where, you know, every year it felt like we talked about Memphis potentially being that group of 5 team in the playoff. And it just never came together because it felt like they always lost a bunch of head scratchers. And now you put him at a program that has less talent relative to the conference they're in, right? Now, obviously, Arkansas is going to have better athletes than Memphis, but compared to the rest of the conference, like the situation's worse.
Yeah.
And it just feels like Arkansas is primed to be really the bottom of the. I think we're all going to be in agreement here that Arkansas is probably our pick for the worst team in the conference.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, which is kind of a shame because those fans are like very loyal. And it wasn't that long ago that Pittman kind of had them rolling for a year and a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, and Pittman was the guy that was extra likable. I feel like
yes,
everybody wants to grab
that's
a
the thing,
cold
like,
beer with him.
There is a cult
Yes.
of personality that leaves with Pittman. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like I just don't think, you know, that's a guy you're okay with. Like, all right, man, he's likable. Like everybody, the players like him. Like I just don't see that vibe going off as
No.
well if this just doesn't get off the ground.
Dude,
yeah.
So
Sorry,
like,
Jay, you go.
no, you're good. Like Ed O is the defensive line guy that's like that cult of personality.
Yeah.
Sam Pittman reminded me a lot of Ed O, and that he's a guy
they're very
that's
similar in that way.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
yeah, players like playing for him, super likable, can recruit decently, but obviously LSU has a little bit better base to pull from than Arkansas does, and you know, just not ever able to really put it together. It's just tough, and the SEC is only getting tougher.
No, yeah, it's Arkansas's one of the toughest jobs I think in the country because it's not like Vandy in Kentucky where like you can get away with being bad. You know, like Arkansas wants to be good.
Right.
Like they want to be. I mean, the thing is, they want to be 8 wins, 9 wins. Like that's where they want to be, and it's just very hard to get there. We're like, okay, Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Well, they're not the biggest ticket in town, so okay, it's okay if they, you know, go 6-6 or have a losing season one year. You know, we're like Arkansas is striving to get back to, you know, the wild hogs of the 2000s.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like in this NIL era, I mean, when you have teams like, I mean, in Missouri in close proximity to Arkansas doesn't help because like Missouri has obviously been consistently better. You know, with that whole thing going on. So it's like, you know, there's always going to be that little angle there. And then when you have this NIL world and you have like Vandy doing well and Kentucky, you know, doing pretty well, like you just don't have as much grace because that pressure cranks up when you're a school like Auburn or Florida or, you know, to a lesser extent, slightly, you know, Arkansas. You just don't have that time and patience, you know, that you previously would have gotten at some of these jobs.
Yeah, and I also think Arkansas is harmed by OU and Texas joining the conference, right?
Yeah,
two more programs from
running,
bordering states,
and they're already like
yeah,
big powerhouse schools anyway. Yeah, that's tough.
No.
Well, moving on. Obviously, we talked about Ryan Silverfield as a new coaching hire. Sticking to that topic, Pablo, who do you think made the best new coaching hire coming into the season?
Again, I'm gonna follow up with my boys. Like, I mean, it's because of, and I say Alex Golish because Auburn needed a cultural reset more than anything. It's like you had, like, it's crazy. And me and some of my friends were talking about this earlier today, that it's like Harsin doesn't even bother me anymore. Hugh Freeze was that bad, like, which is crazy. Like, that wasn't even that long ago, right? Like, and it's just like the culture got so bad, and just the team and the performance, and obviously the coach is not a likable guy, comes with all the baggage and blah blah blah. So, I mean, just that cultural reset. I mean, I think they knocked it out of the park with that. And to be honest with you, like, I was very shocked when it happened. When it got announced, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't feel like we messed this up, And then since he's been in the fold, I mean, I absolutely love hearing the dude talk, just talk about football or press conferences, like, very intentional, deliberate, process driven, like, smart guy. And players seem to like him. So I genuinely think, of the new hires, like, that's the one. And I mean, I wouldn't fight you, if you said Summerall.
That was going to be mine. I kind of not poo-pooed it, but I don't know. For some reason, I just can't get over like Florida and Auburn. Because I feel like the last couple of years they haven't really made the best coaching hires, or
Right.
they've never panned out. But looking at Summerall, I really think Summerall. I think he can get Florida back to at least where they're relevant again, and at
You
least
feel
ranked.
competitive. Yeah, you're not
Yes.
going into these big games like, well, we're still not
Yeah.
one of those guys, Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think so too.
Yeah. But no, I Golish still. I mean, I think Auburn, you had to go with him.
Yeah.
You had to. Jay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in a different direction here. I'm going to go with Will Stein as the best hire,
That's a good
and
hire, yeah.
Mhm.
I won't fight you for that.
there's some thoughts behind it. Like, I don't know that Kentucky's ever going to be the program that really runs the conference. Like, I don't think they're ever going to get to that point. But Pablo, you talk about a cultural reset, right? Like, you go from Stoops, who there were times where it
old
felt
school
like
defensive guy,
I mean, I made the joke that Kentucky was the Iowa of the SEC for a while there, and you're going a completely different direction. A young offensive guy. He's a guy that has spent a lot of time in the state of Texas, so he has some ties there. Has coached at Lake Travis High School, spent some time as a quality control assistant at the University of Texas. Has been at UTSA. Obviously, the past few years has been the offensive coordinator under Dan Lanning at Oregon, and we've seen the steps that program has taken. Dante Moore really having a great year last year. But I think this is a great hire, because you look at it and I think this may be some of my nostalgia playing in, but I think of Kentucky as like a team that likes to air it out, right? Before Stoops got there, like, you go back to the Hal Mama years, like, this was like the birthplace of the air raid when Leach was there. And I think that getting a younger guy, a guy who's inventive, a guy who's going to bring some energy into that place was a great decision for Kentucky. I think he's going to be able to recruit well. And you can pull some guys. Kentucky's a weird one because you can pull some guys out of Ohio that you normally wouldn't get in other places.
And they have, they obviously have a massive basketball program, which we all will know, but they sneaky have a decent NIL base for football. Like, they'll pull a couple guys, like, that are especially like skill position guys or a quarterback here and there. And I bet if this looks good, year one, then I bet they get a good portal quarterback next year.
Yeah, and you look at, like, again, the chops that Will Stein has and the way he's been able to develop. I mean, look at Frank Harris at UTSA, right? Like, and what he was able to do for that program. And so a quarterback comes in and sees that and sees the pedigree and again, a younger coach. He's a guy that's from the state of Kentucky, played his college football at the rival in Louisville, but he's a guy that I think if you're a Kentucky fan, you're excited to see what he does there. And this could obviously go poorly because we haven't seen him as a head coach. We don't know how it's going to work out. But I just think this was a great risk for Kentucky to take, and that's why I had him as my top hire in the SEC this year.
Yeah, and Jay, they're a team that can take that risk.
Exactly.
Like, they can. Like, you can't.
Yeah,
I don't think
that.
Right. You can afford that. You can afford to be like, hey, all right, we're 4-8. All right, we're 5-7, and then we're building. Where I feel like at Florida or Auburn, you can't.
The expectation is to win right
more
away.
Immediate pressure. Yeah, exactly.
There's more pressure there, but yeah, I think we're all. No one said Lane.
Nope.
I'm not.
I mean, and some of that comes with the baseline of expectation, right? Like,
Yeah.
I expect him to perform well and LSU to land a guy like that. So, like, just from a relative sense, it's like, well, yeah, of course. Like, I think LSU and Lane makes a lot of sense, but from what teams need, like going from where they were to where they need to be, kind of thing, like the delta is greater at these other schools.
Yeah, no, I get it. Pablo, we're talking about coaches that are coming in. How about coaches that are on the hot seat? Who do you think has the hottest seat in the SEC?
The hottest seat to start the season. Let's see. Gosh, man. I mean, the ones that there's a lot of new hires at some of these schools. I mean,
so I was thinking Shane Beamer.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if they don't do well, like to Jay's point, if that being the dark horse, like if that is your expectation of we're going to be a contender, then if they don't perform well, I mean, aside from Arkansas not getting off the ground, like I don't see Lebby at risk. Obviously, Will Stein is going to get grace. Clark Lee, they're not giving up on him. Golis just got hired. Summerall just got hired. Like, it's got to be Beamer. It has to be.
Yeah. I do think Lebby is on, I think his seat's very warm. I think if they put out another stinker this year, I think they'll go in a different direction. But like Beamer, I think his floor is just so low because like you have 8 or 9 wins, but then there's 4 wins and then there's 5 wins. It's like your bads are bad and your goods are good. That's solid,
Right.
So I think if he goes with another dud or maybe even a 6-6 year, I could see him getting canned. I did see something online and I wish I wrote down who said it, but it's like South Carolina, you never move up when you go to South Carolina.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I don't remember who said it.
And I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Bud Elliott.
I think it was Bud, actually.
I think it was Bud Elliott.
Yeah.
He said, like, South Carolina is the job you get to get fired and you get a big payday and then you go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because again, South Carolina isn't the easiest place to recruit either. You have just a lot of competition there. And that program just never, like, I don't know. It's just hard. I think it's hard for them to get to the next level.
Yeah, I agree.
And so obviously I think Beamer is the guy that, just because of the nature of it, is the hottest seat right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to look at some other programs that maybe have some hot seats. You look at a place like Ole Miss, right? They hired Pete Golding as the interim. Now he's the head coach. I think there's always a little bit of a shorter leash in that type of situation. If things go really poorly for the program there in Oxford, I think he's a guy you look at. Honestly, guys, like if Texas has a bad year, if they don't fulfill those expectations,
it's one of those kind of things. I mean, it's reasonable to consider. Like if you're spending that much money and the expectations are that lofty, and you're like, guy, you can't get us over the hump with all this. Like, yeah, that'll get loud.
Like a James Franklin situation.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
you got a Manning in there. Like you're expecting to compete for national titles, and this is just the differences in expectations, right?
Right.
I don't think Sark is a bad coach, but if you disappoint again, and last year was a disappointing year for them,
right?
Like if you miss the playoff again, I think those conversations start happening.
Yep.
Can I say something about Texas? Okay. That and I don't want to offend anybody. I don't think I'll offend anybody here. But like, here's the thing with Texas. They throw stupid amounts of money around.
Yeah.
Okay? Like stupid amounts of money. Like, and the South in general throws a lot of money down. But like, I'm seeing like different reports that like their NIL budget is like 50 million.
Yeah,
it's like crazy. And like Ohio State had like 20 million 2 years ago. They got all the cars out front. They got all the money. It's like you have to get to that next level. Like you have to break through, and they're just not doing it. You know what I'm
when your
saying?
financial competitor is Ohio State, who is constantly breaking through, you kind of
Yes.
have to.
Exactly. Like again, I don't want to bring everything to Penn State, but it's like I can at least sit back and be like, hey, we got money, but we don't got that money.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's like
it's a difference. Yeah.
there's like we don't
It's
have
it's
that.
similar with like how Auburn. That's how I feel at Auburn. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I know we're in like the top 15, maybe top 10 most years, like
Mhm.
throwing money around, especially if things are going well. But we ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah. When you're looking at Texas and they're like doubling your NIL budget,
Right.
you know, and that's the money that's potentially on record.
Yeah, exactly. The recorded
like
money.
And again, Sark is he's a good coach, no doubt. I'm not trying to, but like, he's another guy that I almost feel like, you know, he has some of the James Franklin in him too.
Yeah.
That
right.
like everyone kind of pointed at James Franklin, and it's like, you know, there's this guy over here in Texas who's getting even more money, who's, you know, has all these resources and hasn't broken through yet. So I don't know. If they go down early and lose a couple games, Jay, like I do think that is definitely a possibility.
Really now, I will say I'm going to stay away from the money side of this conversation because A&M
there's
quite a bit of money too. I really think the state of
money.
Texas in general, right? You look at what Texas Tech has done as well.
Yeah.
With their NIL money. So I think it's a statewide thing. But
hold on a sec, boys. I gotta go run upstairs real quick. I'll be right back. I'll carry this.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll keep it rolling.
Hey, listen, that's the thing about live podcasts. We adapt, we overcome, we push through obstacles, we deal with adversity. And we're grateful for the opportunities to improve because of it. But Jake, so we've talked about Beamer. I think he's clear cut, hottest seat. I brought up Golding. I brought up Sark. I think you go north across the Red River, and listen, I know OU had a good year last year, but just with what that program expects, again, it's the expectations, right? If OU has a bad year, if they come crashing back down after the playoff appearance, I think he's another one who could end up a little bit of a hot seat. And I think, that's about as hot as it gets, because like we know Kirby Smart's not going to be in trouble. We know that Lane Kiffin's going to have some time. We know the new coaches, John Summerall, Golish, Silverfield to an extent, Will Stein, they're all going to have time. I think Vanderbilt's over the moon with what Clark Lee has done there. And
Venables, Venables would have to be like the wheels fall off early.
Yeah. And Jake, I know you probably want to talk about this one because it's, speaking of the OU connection, just the turnover they've seen in Knoxville, right? And the ability to keep the program kind of pumping in the right direction. Obviously, with Nico Iamaleava leaving, and what has happened in Tennessee, there's potential that Heupel ends up on the hot seat if Tennessee has a down year.
No, here's the thing. I think Tennessee would be foolish to do
agree.
that. Like I really don't like Tennessee, and I don't hide that really anymore. But like I really like Josh Heupel, and I think he is perfect for them. And I do think that when the things around him will settle down, and the things around him can stabilize, I do think he can put something on the field. Unfortunately, they haven't seemed to get all the right pieces in there. I know that some of it is Heupel's fault, but I do think Josh Heupel is a very good coach for Tennessee.
Yeah. And obviously I've talked about my bias there growing up as an OU fan, watching him win there and having been recruited by him. I'm a fan of Heupel. I think Lebby's seat is pretty hot, to be honest.
I do too. Yeah.
Like, especially like if Kamario Taylor doesn't take a step forward here, I think that seat's going to get hot there in Starkville. But we'll see. I mean, that's the other thing about the SEC, dude, is opinions change in a heartbeat. It's kind of wild to watch.
Yeah.
Not the most reasonable set of fans for sure.
No. Fan
Everybody
is
wants to
short.
be somebody.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Everyone wants to be somebody else. Pablo, is there an individual player that you're excited to see?
I'll get this one out of the way. Byron Brown, I want steady quarterback play and like just electric. I'm gonna run through your damn face quarterback. Like just that gives me chills. I just can't wait for that first time. It's like 4th and 1, and we're like on our own 40, and they're just like, fuck it, we're going for it. And he runs through somebody's face. That's gonna be awesome. So I am looking forward to that. Outside guys, like, man, the tail end of last year, like, I don't think I enjoyed watching a player more than Trinidad Chambliss. Like that dude, that's just a fun quarterback to watch and a fun offense. It's I mean I love watching that guy play football, even though he is 37 now and he still gets to play.
Everyone's playing.
It's
Doesn't
hard
matter.
not to be excited about him. I think what he was doing was electric at the end of last season. Willed Ole Miss into a lot of games. We've talked a lot about the quarterbacks. Lenore Sellers is a guy that I'm excited to see. I just touched on Kamario Taylor at Mississippi State. Getting banged up like John Mateer did with the hand injury. I'm really interested to see what he can do if he's 100% healthy, because that is just such a bad injury to have as a quarterback that I can't help but wonder if OU season isn't even better, right? If he's healthy all the way through. So he's a guy that I'm really excited to watch as well. But I'm still an edge rusher at heart. Dylan Stewart is a guy that I can't wait to watch play again.
That guy, yeah.
So I have one that I think is, I guess, a little bit off the beaten path, but how about Danny O'Kee from Oklahoma, edge rusher?
Yeah.
I think I think he is starting. I mean, he came out last year, but I think that's a guy by the end of the year, we're going to be talking about him a lot more.
Yeah. And again, that Brent Venables defense, it was fun to watch them play last year.
Yes.
That was the first year, I think, since he's gotten to OU that it really felt like a Brent Venables coach defense.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see if they can kind of build off that momentum. Danny O'Kee is a guy that I'm excited to watch as well, Jake.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. All right, Pablo, it's your time. Why should we be excited about Auburn?
If you're not going to be a championship contender immediately, you need to be fun to watch. And I think that from what we've been watching, which was an offensive guru of a decade ago, that puts up yards, puts up numbers, and just failing over and over to come through in the clutch and, win some of these close games against some of these more defensive-minded coaches, like you could tell he was just out of his league when he was up against Elko, when he was up against, Smart, just these defensive guys, like it just Venables, he just didn't have it. So I think it'll be exciting, and the playmaking, obviously at the quarterback position, just kind of changes the calculus a little bit. When that dude has the football in his hands all the time, that obviously, you can make something shake. So defense returns a lot. I mean, they lost, a couple secondary pieces. The corners were commanding high NIL ask, with the new staff. And they were like, we got a pretty deep cornerback room. We can get a portal guy, and ended up getting, a couple dudes in the portal. So that'll be interesting to see how the secondary shapes up. But, they retained the 2 freshman safeties. You get Champ Anthony back off of the leg injury. Xavier Atkins, first team All-American last year at linebacker. And they lean into a lot of the youth, especially on defense. So some of those guys that should take a big step, like former 5-star Jared Smith off the edge, or former 5-star Malik Autry at defensive tackle. There's some talent, that's not really budded quite yet, that could make a lot of noise, like with another year under their belt.
I love it. I think you've convinced me.
I
think Auburn over. I think you might convince me for the Auburn over. And listen, I will say, looking research and stuff like that, besides the goalish hire, I don't know. I just kind of haven't been following Auburn. So I do like, when you come on so you can give us at least your take.
Yeah.
For
And
a
I mean, I
team
think
that
it's
I
a
don't
big
usually
deal
follow.
that they were able to hold on to Durkin, like,
Mhm.
and then retain, specifically that front seven, those safeties that, come up in the box a lot. Like, they were one of the better run defenses in the country last year, and you brought pretty much everybody back that mattered with that. So, I mean,
Mhm.
I think that has to count for something. And I like Golish's mentality to complement Durkin more so than Freeze, because Golish is, wide open, go fast, try to hit big plays. If we go 3 and out, we go 3 and out. But like, I also want you to play that aggressive on defense. So we create more opportunities, create turnovers, create short fields
Mm.
over the course of a game. Like, that explosion factor on both sides of those balls, like it has to catch up. Whereas
Yeah.
like last year, it felt like the offense was so timid to like stay on the field and just like not go 3 and out that it actually worked against them more times than not. And I just think that the coaching mentality on both sides of the ball, like, it looked like two different teams when they were playing last year,
Yeah.
like there's no way this is the
Mhm.
same coaching staff, right? And I think you'll see more of that being a complementary thing with like the way Golish is for offense and Durkin, matching that on defense.
Yeah, and we talk often about how important complementary football is, but moving on, one of the biggest announcements of the offseason, Pablo, was that the Big 12 is now the Monster Energy Big 12.
Monster. What a deal.
If the SEC got a sponsorship like that, what would it be?
Oh man, it has to be like Chick-fil-A or Waffle House or Buc-ee's. Like
Oh,
one of those three. Like,
I think Waffle House.
I think that's a short list, and
Yes.
it's hard to go past those three.
Yeah.
The Waffle House SEC is, I think, just perfect.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, for folks that don't live in the South, they don't know how important Waffle House is to your local towns. I mean, it is the hurricane warning system. If the Waffle House is
An
closed,
actual thing.
Yeah.
get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Hey, we do have Waffle Houses up here. Just letting you know. But I know they're not as prevalent. There was one in Scranton. And I think there's one in Hershey. But yeah, I know about the Waffle House.
It's not a Waffle House; it's a Waffle Home.
It's a Waffle Home.
Waffle Home. All right, Pablo. This is how we are going to end the podcast today. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna talk tailgates. So we're going to talk some tailgates. And listen, Auburn is a great tailgating place, right? So you should have at least a little bit of knowledge, or at least you're going to share some of your opinion on what your favorites of the tailgate are. Okay.
All right.
So first, I need a lunch meal, okay, with a side.
Oh man. Lunch.
I
mean, I'm a big burger guy. Like, and there's, a few different burger spots, when you're walking around town. I love like bacon cheeseburgers with barbecue sauce and like some good fries. I'm a big fan of pasta salad if you can get it somewhere.
Ooh, okay.
I love a good pasta salad. You go to appetizers, definitely knocking down any chips and salsa at any restaurant ever, whether it's Beef O'Brady's or your local Mexican restaurant. Like, I'm getting chips and salsa everywhere I go if I can. And I like cheese sticks, man. I'm a big cheese sticks and marinara guy.
Gotcha. All right. So at the tailgate, what is the go-to beverage of choice?
I mix it up generally. Like, I enjoy like a tequila drink, a vodka drink. I'll drink seltzers. Like, I'm not a very discriminatory drinker at all when it comes to game days, and that works against me. So, just keep antacids real close. But yeah, I mean, I literally just drink a little bit of everything, quite honestly.
Ooh.
But I do enjoy like the transfusion type drinks and stuff like that for a refreshing game day.
There we go. Yeah.
Good stuff. Or like, lemonade with the vodka spiked in it, like actual Tumors lemonade. Like, that's good stuff.
Tumors.
Yeah, Tumors Corner.
Oh, Tumors lemonade. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get the connection.
Yeah, you go get you like a frozen lemonade on game day, and then just pour you some vodka down in that thing, baby.
Yeah, a little something.
Yeah. So we gonna have a good time.
Yeah. All right. It is a noon kick, or I guess 11 o'clock kick your time. I need a breakfast food of choice for the tailgate.
I am also a big sausage biscuit guy. I love sausage biscuits. Bacon, egg, and cheese. You can never go wrong. Um, and that same goes with like breakfast burritos too. Like I'm a big fan of breakfast burritos or wake up wraps from Dunkin' Donuts. Like again, I just eat and drink almost everything.
I do feel like that is a difference between the southern and the northern, where northern tailgates, I feel like it's more sausage muffins, where the south it's
Or
more
like sausage balls or something like that.
Yeah, down
Yeah.
south it's more the biscuits.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely gotta
biscuits
get
are
the
big.
biscuits down south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you like a fat bologna biscuit from a gas station on the way down. Like, yeah, that's good stuff.
I love that. We're going back to the bevies for breakfast specifically. Some people are Bloody Mary people. Some people are mimosa people. If you're getting a breakfast drink for the tailgate, what are you going to go with, Pablo?
I love spicy things in general, but something about Bloody Marys just don't make sense to my brain and my palate. Like I can't do that as a beverage. And it is like it really kind of bothers me internally because I know I like these things, but like for whatever reason, that combination in that time of day like just doesn't work for me. So I am a big mimosa guy. Like I'll absolutely down a mimosa pitcher and not think twice about it.
I am the same exact way. I cannot stomach Bloody Marys.
Like I love marinara sauce. I love salsa. I love
Yeah.
spicy foods. I love cold drink. You know, like all of
I can't
it.
do
Like
it
all
all
the things
together.
you put in it. But yeah, just like that combination as a drink. Like I just,
Yep.
I don't know, something about it just don't work in my brain.
Yep. Definitely I'm more of a mimosa guy as well. How about a tailgate game? If you had to choose one tailgate game to play, what would it be?
I love cornhole. I can play it all day. Like it's awesome game.
Yeah, it's
Washers
ours.
are fun too. But
Another washer shout. Love to see it.
yeah,
People forget.
Yep.
people forget Washers is a fun game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like cornhole. That's definitely my go-to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
All
what I
right.
usually have.
Pablo, we're handing you the ox. What are you playing at the tailgate?
Oh, I mean, I'm a child of the crunk era, so yeah, we're absolutely nuck if you buck, throw it up. I mean, all that. Like that's absolutely what we're doing. Like Lil John and the East Side Boys raised me.
There you go. I mean, if you hear "nuck if you buck" on, like,
Yeah,
you might be able to get into some ruckus there.
I know if you buck. I know.
Yeah,
it's a great song. Yeah,
Oh,
that whole era, man. Like early 2000s to mid 2000s. You know, you can sprinkle in some like mid 2000s Ti in there. You know, kind of on the tail end of the crunk era. Like, you know, that's good stuff. Young Jeezy, you got to have Young Jeezy going, regardless of what era. Like Young Jeezy's always in the mix.
That's an Atlanta proximity show.
Yes.
I'm a big Jeezy guy.
Yeah, we're a big Outcast tailgate.
There you go.
Really?
We're a big Outcast. You brought up Atlanta.
Speaking of Atlanta,
yeah. Speaking of Atlanta,
no,
we're a big Outcast tailgate. Like stuff from Stankonia or like Aquemini. Like some deeper cuts. Gasoline Dreams for the people who know. Pablo, thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, man, this was a blast.
Do you want to shout anything? You want to shout anything out before?
Yeah, man, we haven't recorded in a hot minute because we typically take the off season completely off and just kind of do our thing. But yeah, Slander U will be off and running here again in a few weeks. And last year we never even got around to conference previews after talking about it because then its season just snuck up on us. But we would like to do that, and so yeah, we'll definitely aim to have you boys on respectively for each conference. So that'll be nice to reciprocate that.
I would love to. Listen, I knew of Slander U before I think Jay and I started recording together, I believe.
It may have been right around the same time.
It was around the same time or before like I kind of started interacting with you guys.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So yeah, I would love to come on.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Next week for the listeners, Jay, we will be back on Monday Night Live, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And then podcasts will be available everywhere you listen to podcasts on that Tuesday morning. So we are back to Monday nights, Tuesday morning for the podcast release. Jay, let's land the plane, good sir.
First of all, a big thank you to Pablo once again for joining us on this podcast. We appreciate him coming on to talk a little SEC ball. To all the listeners at home, we appreciate your support. We couldn't do this without you. So do all the things that help us grow as a podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Word of mouth, still the best marketing tactic in the world, in case you didn't know. But thank you again. Make sure to tune in next week, and we'll see you next time.
From all of us at the Get Back Coach, have a great week.